topics that we need to cover now. Okay, laws of chemical combination over, law of conservation of mass, constant proportion, Dalton's atomic theory, atoms and symbols, atomic mass is also over. Molecule we have discussed a lot. Yet if somebody does not understand molecule, I will revisit it. I'll spend some time today with you on iron. Writing chemical formula is like molecule. I'll revisit because we did a lot of job on that. Iron and molecular mass and formula unit mass. So first we will do molecular mass and formula unit mass, and then we'll go to iron. Okay, ready children? Chalo. So let's go with molecular mass now. Okay, molecular mass. So we'll try to understand it from its name. Molecular mass means mass of the molecule, as simple as that. Okay, so it is talking about mass of a molecule. So first you ask, hey molecule, how big are you? Molecule says, I am also very small like an atom. So molecule is also very, very small. That means if you try to measure the mass of the molecule in terms of grams or kg, it will not make any relevance to you. So we have to go again to something which is known as the relative molecular mass. What was relative atomic mass? In relative atomic mass, we used to say how heavy is an atom as compared to 1/12 the carbon atom. Abhi bhi वैसा ही रहेगा. Just that earlier you were actually testing for atoms. Now you will be testing for, because for molecule. See, the molecule is also very small. So a molecule cannot be expressed in terms of grams. It doesn't make sense. So what we will take the molecule, same story, and we will compare. What are you going to compare? The mass of the molecule. You are going to compare it with what? 1/12 of carbon 12, where carbon 12 itself is 12 atomic mass unit. Have you understood? So what is the molecular mass? The molecular mass, or the relative molecular mass of a molecule, instead of atom we'll say of a molecule, tells us how heavy a molecule is as compared to 1/12 the mass of a carbon 12 atom, where carbon 12 has been assigned the mass of 12 atomic mass unit, or 12U. Have you understood? Now let's take one molecule. Let's say we are taking a molecule of CO2. Now, in order to arrive at the molecular mass of CO2, what is CO2? CO2 comprises of what? One atom of C plus two atoms of O. Correct? Now, if you want to find out the molecular mass of CO2, then all you should find out is what is the respective atomic mass multiplied by the number of atoms and jod do. What is the weight of the bag that Jaideep is carrying from Ratnadeep? Take out individual items, measure their weight, add them up. That should be the weight of the bag. So the molecular mass will be one atom of carbon, which is 12 atomic mass unit, two atoms of oxygen, which is 16 atomic mass unit. So how much is it? 16 2 is 32, 12U plus 32U, which actually gives you 44 atomic mass unit. Have you understood? Very easy. If you know the atomic mass unit of the individual atoms that constitute a molecule, then you should be able to find the molecular mass. Now a question children ask often, sir, if they say that find the molecular mass of H2SO4 in the exam, will they provide us with the data for H, S and O? Depends from school to school. Certain schools provide you, certain don't provide you, but at grade 9 they should provide you. What I'm trying to say is something like this. Say there's a question which comes to you. The question is something like this. Calculate the molecular mass of H2SO4, or which is known as sulfuric acid. Now, in order to calculate molecular mass of sulfuric acid, you should know hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen's atomic mass. Therefore, I always say that the first few elements that you have, थोड़ा जान के रहना अच्छा रहता है. So, if you see this molecule, then the molecular mass will be what? The molecular mass will be equal to 1 into, you have what? Hydrogen, hydrogen, there are 2 atoms. So we have hydrogen, 2 atoms. Sulfur, we have 1 atom. Oxygen, we have 4 atoms. So hydrogen's atomic mass is 1 multiplied by 2. Sulfur is just double of oxygen. 16, sulfur is 32. 32 multiplied by 1. Oxygen is how much? 16 multiplied by 4. This is 2, this is 32, and this is how much? 64, which adds up and gives you 98 atomic mass unit. Few things you should know. Water, H2O, will be always 18 atomic mass unit. Sulfuric acid will always be 98 atomic mass unit. Calcium carbonate, CaCO3, will be 100 atomic mass unit. CO2 will always be 44 atomic mass unit. Even this one you can calculate. Calcium carbonate, calcium is 40, carbon is 12. 40 plus 12, 52. And 52 के साथ आप add करो 48, 100 हो गया. So the molecular mass of a molecule tells us what is the mass of the molecule as compared to 1/12 the mass of a carbon-12 atom, where carbon-12 has been assigned the unit of 12 atomic mass unit. So in our days, these were known as molecular mass unit. मामू पढ़ते थे हम इसको. Just like atomic mass unit, we have molecular mass unit. Are we fine? So one question again arises that in our terms, our units in which we measure, what should be the molecular mass? Okay, so let's again take carbon dioxide. So we said the molecular mass of carbon dioxide, molecular mass is equal to how much? 44 atomic mass unit. But you want it realistic. You're a human being, you want it in your grams. So there we say, if I would have taken 1 mole of CO2 molecules, 1 mole of CO2 molecules, which means if I would have taken 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 CO2 molecules, which is quite a big number, they would have weighed 44 grams. Just like in oxygen, we used to say 1 mole of oxygen will give you 16 grams, 1 mole. And in such a case, we will call this as what? Molar mass. So molar mass of CO2. If somebody says, what is molar mass of CO2? 44 grams. What is atomic mass of CO2? Sorry, molecular mass of CO2? 44 U. Molar mass means 1 mole का वजन कितना है. यहाँ सबसे जो interesting चीज है, this number never changes. It just picks up different unit. If you want to talk at a very microscopic level, 1 molecule, have you seen? No. Have I seen? No. What is the mass? 44 atomic mass unit. But if you want to talk realistic, then don't come with 1 molecule, come with 1 mole. Then the weight is 44 grams. So molar mass, when we talk about molar mass, which will be very helpful in your grade 11, because in 10 you will not learn this. Molar mass can be for an atom also. Molar mass can be for a molecule also. And in both these things, we are trying to measure 1 mole. बहुत सारा quantity है, 1 mole. And our answer will always come in grams. This is the exact Ratnadeep grams that we are talking. So if I take an example with a blue color, and I take the example of an oxygen atom, then this is 16 grams. And if I take the example of CO2, then this is 44 grams. Understood? And if we talk about tiny level, if you want to talk at tiny level, then there are 2 heads. If you are an atom, I will look for your atomic mass. And if you are a molecule, then I look for your, why does the C get missed every time? I get to look for your molecular mass. If it is atomic mass, and I take an example of oxygen, then this is 16U If this is CO2, then this is 44U. I have tried my level best to make it clear. Have you understood the trick part of it or not? Numbers change नहीं हो रहे हैं, numbers वही रहते हैं, सिर्फ unit बदलता है. Because when you write a reaction like this, say C plus O2 gives me CO2. What does this mean? One atom of carbon reacts with one molecule of oxygen to form one molecule of CO2. आप रियल लाइफ में एक कार्बन का एटम फोर्सेप में ला सकते हैं क्या? नो. कैन यू ब्रिंग वन इन योर फोर्सेप? कैन यू ब्रिंग वन मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन? नॉट पॉसिबल. सो इसको रियलिस्टिक कैसे देखने का? हाउ टू सी इट इन अ रियल वर्ल्ड? सो टू सी इट इन अ रियल वर्ल्ड वी से, to see it in a real world, it would be 1 mole of carbon atoms reacts with 1 mole forming 1 mole. Means अगर आप बाजार से 12 ग्राम कार्बन लाए, जो कि appreciable है, 12 grams can be taken on hand, they will react with how much of oxygen gas? They will react with, this is molecular mass, so they will react with, very good, 32 grams of oxygen they will pick up from the atmosphere, and the carbon dioxide gas form will be 44 grams. ये realistic है. लेकिन बचपन में जब हम पढ़ते हैं ना, हम एटॉमिक मॉलिक्यूलर लेवल में पढ़ते हैं, पर जब आप 11 तक चले जाएंगे, you will be doing all these equations in molar form. So that's reality. Because then a question will come. Now let us take one grade 11 question based on it. We have a question where we say Aryash has got 24 kilos of carbon with him. Calculate 24 kilos, but this is all, these are all multiplying factor ka game chal raha hai. 24 kilos, okay, so 12 grams, 24 kilo. How much kilos of oxygen they will require for burning, and how much of oxygen? Just double karte jaiye. 64 kilos of oxygen will be required, and you will be finally forming 24 plus 64, so many kgs of carbon dioxide you will be forming. Are you getting the idea? This is how it happens. So have you understood molecular mass? Right? Yes. You want to ask something? Acha, yes, sir. Anyone has any doubt? Or are you fine? Who's logged in? This is Ananya or what? Ananya, are you logged in online today? Yes. Oh, Deepti. I was reading it as Gargi. Ananya's mother's name is Gargi, so I was reading it as Gargi. Okay, Deepti, fine. Have you understood this? So shall we take our next point? Our next topic we'll be talking on molecular mass. We have spoken. We now need to know what is formula mass. Okay. Formula mass थोड़ा hold कीजिए. बहुत ही आसान चीज है. उससे पहले थोड़ा समझ लेते हैं. Like say, children, the type of compounds that you form, the type of compounds that we form, today is quite hot, huh? Surprisingly. It's not as pleasant as the other days. Compounds that we formed are formed when, what happens? Element, this is just a very basic example. Element A, it can be more than one element also, and element B, or it can be molecules also. I'm giving a very basic example. Element A and element B, we will say that they chemically combine. Yes or no? They chemically combine, and then you actually form what is known as a compound. Now, when you are seeing this formation of chemical combine, what is happening? Why do they combine? When you ask the question why, then we have answered it. That is because A also wants stability and B also wants stability. So this is very subjective. So what is the definition of stability? That is to get the inert gas electronic configuration nearest, and this fellow also will try to get the inert gas electronic configuration of the nearest one. Now, to get this fellow will either lose, gain, or share electrons, and same, this fellow will also lose, gain, or share electrons. This is all we have discussed in those 6 classes. Many times we have discussed, right? For example, if you look at your periodic table and you look at chlorine, chlorine will be 287. It wants 1 electron to become argon. And if you look at sodium, sodium is 281. So sodium will lose one electron to become neon on the other side. Have you understood? So let's put it up out here. Let's say I've got sodium. Sodium's electronic configuration is 281 and chlorine's electronic configuration is 287, and the inert gas on this side is argon, which is 288, and right on top is neon, which is 28. Now sodium will lose one electron, so sodium becomes neon, and chlorine will gain one electron, so chlorine will become argon. That is the race. Now question happens is, why will I combine with you? I will combine with you only if we have common interest. Yes or no? This combination happens because both of them want stability. If both of them want stability, the stability can be achieved by losing, gaining, or sharing. Remember, nobody gains. If somebody loses, that is the gain. Electron janam nahi lega alag se. The content of electron is constant. Nobody loses. If somebody is going to gain, only then. It's not that you just say, I want to lose an electron. No, it's not possible. Get somebody who is an acceptor ready to take the electron, then only you can lose that electron. So there are some common, let's see what are the common choices we can make. Common choices can be, let's see on A, B. A wants to lose and B wants to gain. In this case, marriage is possible. This is a very welcome scenario. They will bond. They will react. A wants to gain, B wants to lose. Do you think here also relation will happen? Yes. A wants to lose, B also wants to lose. Nothing will happen. There is no common interest. Common interest means if I have released an electron, you have to pick the electron, or if I have accepted an electron, it must be that you have released the electron. Let's see the next one. The next one is quite more interesting. A wants to gain, B also wants to gain. In this possibility is there. This possibility will be by sharing. And these two will always be by transfer. Transfer means you have understood? The one who is losing will transfer the electron to one who wants to gain. Right? So, in this case, this fellow will be called as the donor and this fellow will be called as the acceptor. And here this fellow will be called the donor and this fellow will be called the acceptor. Have you understood? These type of combinations are possible. Now the combination that we see right at the bottom, this we don't study so much in grade 9. In this, will compounds be formed? Yes, children, but I will give you the knowledge. Compounds will be formed and they will form a bond, and this bond is known as covalent bond. This you will learn little bit in grade 10. Earlier we used to learn in grade 9. You will learn little bit in grade 10. I think 10 mein bhi hata diya. Covalent compounds. Covalent compounds are those compounds which are formed by elements by sharing electrons between them. This is a common interest, but this will not remain strong because, as I always say, sharing never goes friendly for a long time. Sharing initially will be okay. After that, chemistry is like normal human beings' life story. There will always be some jealousy which will be created. Sharing and all does not work. We'll share car rides to the office every day. Just stand there, just give me a missed call, I'll pick you up. 3 दिन बाद, अरे ये तो हमेशा पेट्रोल मेरे ही पैसे का जा रहा है, ये तो कुछ ऑफर भी नहीं करता है, एक लस्सी भी नहीं खरीदती है रोड पे. ह्यूमन बीइंग है ना, बोल ही सकता है, हर रोज मेरे गाड़ी में फोकट में बैठ के जाता है. Then after some time, hey, I came out, did you not go to the office today? Oh, I just missed, I didn't see your call, so I thought you might not be going. Dumping will happen. What happened, Vakul? You're so sad. Are trying to relate or not? I'm trying to give an example that sharing does not work. And if you're interested with the match, do you want to have an update? Yeah, don't worry. It still needs 55 runs to win. Wicket has 8 wickets. Now pay attention here. Okay. So there will be covalent bond formation. Covalent we don't study at grade 9 level, but at your level you've understood covalent bonds are formed when 2 atoms share electrons between them, and as a result of which a molecule will be formed. एक example देख लेते हैं, नहीं तो मन नहीं मानेगा ना. Let's say carbon dioxide. carbon dioxide. So you've got two oxygen atoms. Let's say these are two oxygen atoms. How many electrons in oxygen? Last orbit, oxygen's atomic number is 8. So 2, 6. So there will be 6 electrons. 1 electron, 2 electron, 3 electron, 4 electron, 5 electron, 6 electron. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we are looking for CO2. These are the two O2s, and we have C. And carbon has how many electrons, beta? 4 electrons in the outermost orbit. Carbon is 6, 2, 4. So look at the bonding. So how the bonding happens here? The bonding is they will share this pair of electron, and they will share this pair of electron also. Now count for this oxygen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oxygen satisfied. कार्बन का कितना हुआ? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. अभी भी नहीं हुआ, अभी भी 2 चाहिए. वो 2 इस तरफ में फॉर्म करेगा. Now check for this oxygen. 8 done. So this we represent as oxygen, 1 bond, 1 more bond, carbon, 1 bond, 1 more bond. This is called a double bond formation. This is a covalent compound. We don't study this. And why I'm studying this? To make you understand what is formula mass or formula unit mass. So this brings me back to my old slide, and I now say that compounds which are formed by transfer of electrons across atoms are known as electrovalent compounds, or we call them as ionic compounds. These are known as covalent compound. These are known as ionic compounds. See, it's very easy to remember. Why ionic? Ions must be bound. If your body lose an electron, then you form an ion. If you gain an electron also, you should form an ion. So instead of understanding ionic compounds, let's little bit dive and get to understand what is an ion. That will make our picture more clear. So let's park carbon dioxide at its maternal home for some time. Carbon dioxide, you go and sleep here. Okay, let's see what is an ion. Let's try to understand what an ion is. An ion is a intermediate entity. It's like person has just died, and it is the soul which has left the person, not yet gone to heaven or hell, but just roaming around in the house. Intermediate entity, but it's not stable. As per some mythology, rebirth होगा, or as per somebody उसका angel हो गया होगा, or as per somebody evil हो गया होगा, कुछ तो कुछ हो गया होगा. So an ion is an intermediate entity that is formed once an atom loses or gains an electron, an or electron or electrons, whatever it can be, more than electrons. That means donor and acceptor have a potential chance to become ion. So let's see who is a donor. Donor का मतलब क्या है? A donor was an atom who lost electron. Do you agree or not? It's a donor. यहाँ पे हमने क्या लिखा? Ion is an intermediate entity formed after an atom loses or gains electron. That means this atom, when it lost an electron, and you are saying it is a donor, it actually is also a type of an ion. आप मना नहीं कर सकते. And let's see who is an acceptor. An acceptor is an atom which gains electron. Gains electron. And see, gains. That means acceptor also is an ion. Very nice thing. Ion is an intermediate entity formed after an atom has either lost an electron or it has gained an electron. यानी कि लूज करोगे तो डोनर बनोगे. डोनर बनने से भी आप आयन हो, एक्सेप्टर बनने से भी आप आयन हो. अब जरा यहां मजेदार चीज देखते हैं, डोनर का केस देखते हैं. डोनर. So we have already seen sodium is 281, and sodium usually loses 1 electron. That means sodium always is a donor. Correct ना? Loses 1 electron. आइए सोडियम की कहानी देखते हैं. Sodium lost 1 electron. Lost 1 electron. This is the electron which has been lost, or you can say donated, whatever it is. This is electron which is lost. Sodium had how many protons with it? 11 protons with it. So 11 plus sign and 11 minus sign. That means his overall charge was 0. Now sodium has 11 plus signs, but 1 electron short. That means 1 positive has become more. हिसाब समझ में आ रहा है? पहले सोडियम के पास था +11 -11 0. अभी क्या हो गया? +11 and -10. Now you have a +1. ये +1 जो है ना, ये एकदम नायका बिंदी की तरह इसके सर पे चढ़ जाएगा. अब इसको हम क्या बोलेंगे? ये है सोडियम आयन, सॉरी एटम. ये है सोडियम एटम. ये है सोडियम आयन. दिस इज आयन. एंड व्हाट आयन? पॉजिटिव होके बैठा है. उसी तरह अगर हम क्लोरीन को देखें, क्लोरीन डज व्हाट? क्लोरीन ऑलवेज एक्सेप्ट्स 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन. तो क्लोरीन का हिसाब क्या हो जाएगा? 287. क्लोरीन हैड 17 प्रोटॉन्स, 17 protons and 17 electrons, therefore 0. But now chlorine has 17 protons, 18 electrons. एक -1 आ जाएगा यहां पे. ये भी आयन है. इसको we will call chloride ion, not chlorine ion, chloride ion, and this is known as chlorine atom. Have you understood? Ions which are having positive charge on them, they are known as cations. We write them like this so that you never mistake. The T should be written like positive so that आपको कभी confusion नहीं होगा. These are known as cations. A cation is an ion which is formed after an atom has lost an electron. समझ नींद आ रहा है, मैं जानता हूं, वीक लग रहा है, बोर लगता है. बेटा क्या करो ना, इन्वॉल्व हो क्लास में, लिखो, सवाल पूछो. अगर आप ऐसे बैठोगे ना, आपको क्या फील होगा पता है? उफ, अभी भी और 30 मिनट बाकी. आपका आंख घड़ी पे जाएगा, आप ही को बोर लगते रहेगा. आप लिखो ना. डू यू टेक टी और कॉफी? सम सप्लीमेंट लाइक बोर्नविटा, हॉर्लिक्स, न्यूट्रामुल, समथिंग. मेरे घर में आने से पहले पी के आओ ना गरम, या फिर एक यहाँ पे गरम शेक थर्मोस में भर के ले आओ. मैंने कभी पीने, आपका एनर्जी आएगा. आप लोग का खाना कम है, इसीलिए आप लोग कमजोर पड़ते हो. दैट्स द ओनली रीजन. Okay, so it will be called as an ion. And the ions which are formed by gaining an electron and they get a negative Naika bindi, they are known as anions. So children, have you understood what is an ion? An ion is an intermediate entity which is formed after an atom has lost or gained an electron. If you have lost an electron, you develop a positive charge and you are a cation. If you have gained an electron, you form a negative charge and you are an anion. समझ में आ गया? अच्छा, अब ग्रेड 8 में आपने पढ़ा था ऑपोजिट चार्जेस अट्रैक्ट. तो ये दोनों तो ऑपोजिट चार्जेस हो गए ना. सो नाउ इट इज समथिंग लाइक दिस. सी, सोडियम आयन एंड बिसाइड इट इज क्लोराइड आयन. देयर इज अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फोर्स ऑफ अट्रैक्शन बिटवीन देम. एज अ रिजल्ट they will also form a bond, and this bond is known as ionic bond. And the compound that is formed, which you eat every day as a part of your diet, this compound will be called as an ionic compound. And another name for this is electrovalent bond, and the compound will be known as electrovalent compound. So we have two types of compounds at your age. Covalent compounds means the fellows in ICSC and all have all learned this. Electrovalent and covalent. Electrovalents are formed by transfer. First ion should be created. Ion create hone ke liye somebody has to lose, somebody has to gain. That means transfer has to happen. And once transfer has happened, that means ions are done. And a bond between ions are known as ionic bond. Sir, can you give one small example of this? NaCl. NaCl compound is not formed by sharing of electrons but by transfer of electrons. As a result, NaCl is an ionic. Again, you will read this in grade 10. समझ में आया? Topic came why we were studying this. तो covalent and ये covalent bond समझ में आ गया, ionic bond compound समझ में आ गया. अब सवाल आता है, हम क्या पढ़ रहे थे? हम पढ़ रहे थे molecular mass. So, yeah, please.
Electrovalent compound.
हाँ.
So between NaCl, Na is a positive Ion is the positive ion, Cl is the negative ion. Yes.
Is how do you know which ion gives away the.
How did you get a positive charge? Because one positive charge is extra on you. How did you develop the positive charge? Tell me that first. That will answer the question. When you are an atom, you are neutral. You are sodium. Your atomic number is 11. That means you are blessed with 11 positive charges and 11 negative charges. One fine day, somebody finds you with one positive charge on your head. It means, overall, it means you must have lost one negative charge. Otherwise, how was the imbalance created? You tell me. 11 positive, 11 negative. Look at the mathematics. It's 0. Another positive will not go. He has already achieved stability, 2,8. He has become neon. Why does he need to go again? After shower, when you wear clothes, you don't wear two clothes. ना? दो पैंट पहनते हो क्या? एक पहनने से ही तो आपका एमएमएस नहीं बन सकता है. दो पहनने की और जरूरत ही नहीं है ना. क्लियर ना एग्जाम्पल? अपना एग्जाम्पल एकदम जगह पे गिरता है. समझ में आ गया है ना? इसको किसी भी तरह एक पैंट चाहिए, पहन लिया. तुम बोल लो सर एक और पैंट पहनेगा तो मोटा नहीं हो जाएगा, फिर नहीं चाहिए ना. अरे यार लेवल का एग्जाम्पल हुआ ना. थोड़ा स्कोर देख ले क्या है. मन नहीं मानता है ना. ओह, India needs 53. This way, in every 10 minutes, they are scoring 1 run. By tonight, we will either reach or we will draw. If you draw, it's a shame. Okay, have you understood this? So, our story was that we were discussing about molecular mass, and now I wanted to tell you something about formula mass. So, it's something like this, that let's understand what is formula mass. So, formula mass is nothing but mass of a formula unit. Formula mass is mass of a formula unit. Sir, what is this new thing, formula unit? Okay, very good. Compounds which are formed by covalent bonds. Now, this is something new that you will understand. New means there's a small difference between top ramen and Maggi. Both are noodles. Noodles which are made by Maggi are called Maggi noodles. Noodles which are made by Top Ramen Company are Top Ramen noodles. Compounds made up of covalent bonds are usually called molecules. Though, क्या खाया रे आज? Maggi खाया. You might have eaten yippee, but still you'll say what? Maggi खाया. Compounds which are formed by ionic bonds are called formula units. So, very nice example. A CO2 will be called a molecule, whereas a NaCl will be called as a formula unit. इसको हम molecule नहीं बोलते हैं. Grade 8 में बोल सकते हो. As you are growing up, इसे हम और molecule नहीं बोलते हैं. समझ में आया ना? Spaghetti और noodles में फर्क है. देखने में दोनों, कोई बोलेगा मैगी, मोटा मैगी. ऐसा नहीं है. ये spaghetti है कि ये मैगी है. So, covalent bonds, compounds are known as molecules. Whereas ionic bond compounds, they will have formula unit. ये formula unit भी क्यों होता है? इसके पीछे एक कारण है. वैसे आपके बुक बताता नहीं है ना, वो कारण जान लो तो तुम्हें और क्लियर हो जाएगा ऐसे क्यों बोलते हैं. It's something like this. Let me use this. Let's draw one cuboid. If you see under microscope the structure of NaCl type, there is nothing great that somebody needs a microscope. If he sees one structure, he will be able to, I'm just keeping it here, separate one. He will be able to predict the entire structure of NaCl. If I give you one crystal, आप थोड़ा देर होने से आप सब बोल देंगे. देखिए कितना easy होता है NaCl से. So I'm writing, or I'm putting a sodium with a yellow color. Say this is a sodium ion. What is this beta? Sodium ion, Na plus. It should be surrounded immediately by whom? Chlorine. Bond formation, na? So chlorine is shown by a blue. So don't you think here you should have a chloride ion? ऊपर भी एक chloride ion होना चाहिए. Very good. यहाँ पे भी एक chloride होना चाहिए. यहाँ पे भी एक chloride होना चाहिए, है ना? और इस सोडियम के लिए तो नहीं दिख रहा है. If this is chloride, this is chloride, then this fellow must be sodium. Yes or no? Huh? If this fellow is sodium, then this fellow must be chloride. If this fellow is chloride, then this fellow must be sodium. And if this fellow also should be sodium. Did you agree? Now what we do, this is one, now the lattice is not yet formed. In order to form the entire lattice, another such structure will come and join here. Are you understanding? एक ऊपर में आएगा, नीचे आएगा, पीछे जाएगा. So it's like a formula. It's like take Rubik cube, 1 Rubik cube, 2 Rubik cube, 3 Rubik cube, 4 Rubik cube, फिर नीचे 1, 2, 3, 4. If you know how is sodium and chloride ions arranged, very easy. They just form the edges of a cube. So it's like a formula. Magnesium chloride will be nothing different. Magnesium chloride में with each magnesium 2 chlorines will come. So you can predict the structure by a formula. So that's why such things are known as formula units. They are like Lego toys. You might have made a butterfly, but to a kid it is all तो Lego ही है. और देखने में तो butterfly लग रहा है, ठीक है, पर Lego ही है. समझ में आया? तो these are known as formula units. So the mass of a formula unit compound is known as formula mass. अभी आपको समझ में आया? तो we were studying, so let's say CO2 के लिए हम क्या बोलेंगे बेटा? Molecular mass. Because ये molecule है, तो इसका molecular mass is how much? 44U. And what will you say for NaCl? Formula mass. But even in 11 and 12, children will say this also as molecular mass. Heavens don't fall. So इसका कितना होगा? Sodium is 11, 22, 21, and chlorine is some 37.5. So it will be 21, 37, 47, 57, some 57.5 or 58U. Ionic compound के लिए molecular mass नहीं बोलते हैं, formula mass. So if someone tells you define formula mass is the mass of a formula unit. What is a formula unit? A formula unit represents the compound formed by ionic bonds, that is formed by ions. That's the only difference. So I think we have understood what is molecular mass, we have understood what is formula mass, we have understood ions very clearly. Let's go back to our slide once again with which we started. Where is the slide? Yes, so time to put some more lovely ticks. Take your red pen. So atoms and symbols, atomic mass, molecule, ion, formula mass, writing chemical formula, which we go back to our anything child, anyone has not understood. Beta, I have given 6 classes of preliminary knowledge. सब वीडियोस देखोगे तब आपको you will fall in love with this और आपको मजा लगेगा. आप बीच में से पढ़ोगे आपको कुछ समझ में नहीं आएगा. और उसके बाद हर एक चीज को डबल करके पढ़ाया है. And now we come to writing chemical formula. So we'll spend some time on writing chemical formulas, which we were here. So we'll break down at this stage again. So our next topic is writing chemical formulas, and you will be asked to write chemical formulas based on the valencies. आपको valencies पता होना चाहिए. So writing chemical formulas. So children, to write chemical formulas with the periodic table, you should always know the valencies. Come on, tell me. Group 1, group 2, and group 13. Group 1 and group 2, valency is same as group number. Very good. And then we have G13 to G18. Here valency will be equal to 18 minus group number. Which means if we try to find out the valencies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No. It will be 0. Then 18 minus 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what about 13? 13 is 5. No. Valency cannot. 13 में catch है. group number, this is minus 10. So this will be 3. Valency cannot go to 5. So this will be 3. Clear? At 13, it is group number minus 10. So let's see some common examples that we will get for our, we are kiddo children. We will be doing only up till 20. So we should know those 20. Hydrogen is here. Helium is here. Then comes lithium. Then beryllium. Then boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. After that, it was a helena, sodium, calcium, aluminium, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine, argon, followed by potassium and magnesium. That's it, we are done. Ulta kar diya. Magnesium, calcium should be here. This is wrong. Magnesium will be here. Beta mange car scooter na. हाँ, इसका राइम है ना, है लीना की रब से फरियाद, बेटा मांगे कार स्कूटर बाप राजी, इसलिए गड़बड़ नहीं हो सकता है. ठीक है. So let's see some common compounds as we do. तो सबसे पहले क्या लेंगे? सबसे पहले NaCl ले लेते हैं. Na and Cl valencies लिखते जाइए. Na's valency is 1, Cl's valency is 1. Straight away just transfer होता है. So it becomes Na1 Cl1, but we don't write like this. This is same as NaCl. Agreed? And if you are clever, then you should also put the plus. We know Na's valency is actually 1 means plus 1, Cl is minus 1. It's an ionic bond. Shall we take one more? Let's take, what do you call, CO2, carbon and oxygen. CO2, carbon and oxygen forms carbon dioxide. Okay, let's write carbon and oxygen. What is carbon's valency? 4. What is oxygen's valency? 2. 2 comes this side, 4 comes this side. So it becomes C2O4, but formula is always in lowest ratio. So if you take the simple ratio, it is 2 1s are 2, 2 2s are 4. So CO2. You understood? समझ में आया तो? मैग्नीशियम और ऑक्सीजन का कंपाउंड देखते हैं. मैग्नीशियम एंड ऑक्सीजन. मैग्नीशियम्स वैलेंसी इज 2, ऑक्सीजन इज आल्सो 2. सो क्रिस क्रॉस करने के बाद क्या हुआ? Mg2O2. Mg2O2 becomes Mg. चलो बनाओ AlCl3, एल्यूमिनियम एंड क्लोराइड बनाओ. एल्यूमिनियम एंड क्लोराइड आप खुद बनाइए. एल्यूमिनियम क्लोराइड.
Al
48 to win now. Now my heart is pumping. Lords, we have a good record. AlCl3. Aluminium chloride is AlCl3. So we have aluminium whose valency is 3, chlorine's valency is 1. But tell me what type of compound it should form? Ionic. Al is 3 plus, Cl is 1 minus. This will be ionic. So it is AlCl3. You'll be able to make now? Okay? शादी वादी करा पाओगे? Okay. एक और चीज देख लेते हैं, तो my mind will be very happy. Now the type of ions that you saw, let's see some cations and let's see some anions. Okay, let's see some cations and anions. So go by group 1. Hydrogen like H plus, then lithium Li plus, sodium Na plus, potassium K plus, then you have beryllium Be2 plus, क्योंकि वो ग्रुप 2 में है ना. आओ थोड़ा और अच्छे से लिखते हैं. बेरिलियम यहाँ पे है Be2 प्लस फॉर्म करेगा. कैल्शियम Ca2 प्लस, सॉरी मैग्नीशियम आएगा यहाँ पे. मैग्नीशियम Mg2 प्लस, Ca2 प्लस, बोरॉन 3 प्लस, एल्यूमिनियम 3 प्लस. ठीक है, आगे चलते हैं. कार्बन वैलेंसी इज 4, उसमें प्लस माइनस नहीं होता है. So we come to nitrogen. So carbon's valence is 1. We come to nitrogen. Nitrogen will have -3, then oxygen -2, fluorine -1. इसके नीचे देखेंगे, then phosphorus -3, sulfur -2, chlorine -1, and then this is sufficient. This is what we know. If you see these ions, in these ions only one type of atom, means ion तो death हो गया है ना atom का, लेकिन जब मरा था एक ही atom मरा था, एल्यूमिनियम मरा तो एल्यूमिनियम का आयन फॉर्म हुआ. जो एक और कॉन्सेप्ट आपको जानना चाहिए, दैट इज कॉल्ड, आपके सिलेबस में नहीं है लेकिन आईसीएससी वाले 7 से ही जानते हैं ये सब, पॉलीएटॉमिक आयंस. ऐसा आयन जो मोर देन वन एटम मिलके बना है, एन आयन विच इज फॉर्म्ड विद मोर देन वन एटम. लेट्स सी, सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड, when you make it aqueous means you dilute sulfuric acid, it will, you have learned this is an electrolyte, so current will pass through it, so it has to split into its constituent ions. So there are 2 hydrogen out here, so it will split as 2 hydrogen, and the entire SO4 will split up as a 2 minus. How did I get to know SO4 is 2 minus? Overall the molecule or the formula unit should be 0. If hydrogen took away 1 plus each, that means 2 pluses are gone. So SO4 should be 2 minus. This is a polyatomic ion, polyatomic anion. This anion's name is sulfate. समझ में आया? Now let us make a salt whose name is magnesium sulfate. So magnesium has a valency of +2. Sulfate has a charge of -2. ट्रांसफर करो तो प्रोडक्ट कैसा बनना चाहिए? Mg2SO4. you will do whole to make it simple ratio, MgSO4. ये हायर क्लासेस में जाके आप पूछोगे मैग्नीशियम सल्फेट कैसे बनता है, एकदम इजी है, बट फॉर दैट यू शुड नो सल्फेट. नाउ क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, सर in coming days, if I try to forget what is sulfate's charge, how will I remember? So you should always know some acids. Acids will always help you. HNO3, nitric acid. HCl, hydrochloric acid. H2CO3, carbonic acid. Now this will tell you what is the polyatomic anion's charge. If you look at a nitrate, this acid will split as what? H plus NO3 minus. This is known as nitrate. So let us think, what should be the formula of magnesium nitrate? Magnesium is 2, nitrate is 1. It will be MgNO3 whole 2. But if the same nitrate tries to marry sodium, मजेदार शादी, NaNO3. Potassium nitrate, KNO3. Because potassium is 1 plus. This fellow is 1 minus. But if it tries to marry calcium, CaNO3 whole 2. समझ में आ रहा है? मैग्नीशियम को शादी करेगा तो MgNO3 whole 2. Similarly, क्लोराइड क्या था हमने देखा था? Chloride is always Cl minus. This is the acid present in Coke, Pepsi. This is 2H plus and CO3 2 minus. This is known as carbonate. So let us make calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate का फॉर्मूला क्या होगा? Ca2 plus है, ये भी 2 minus है, CaCO3. और सोडियम नाइट्रेट, सोडियम कार्बोनेट बनाना है तो सोडियम कार्बोनेट. सोडियम बेचारा एक ही चार्ज है, सोडियम के सर पे 1 प्लस है, इसका लेकिन 2 माइनस आ रहा है, तो तुम्हें एक और सोडियम लाना पड़ेगा, Na2CO3, वॉशिंग सोडा. आप पॉलीएटॉमिक आयंस मतलब वो आयंस जिसमें एक से ज्यादा एटम्स होते हैं. इनका एक और नाम केमिस्ट्री में है रेडिकल. इन्हें हम रेडिकल्स भी बोलते हैं. प्रॉब्लम क्या है, ये आपको ना 10 में कोई पढ़ाएगा ना 11 में, यू शुड नो इट दिस थिंग. That's why know some acids. This will make your life very easy in grade 10. Acids always dissociate. Acid कौन होता है? Acid वो होता है जो H plus छोड़ता है. तो H plus छोड़ दिया, इधर क्या रहा? SO4 2 minus. इसको हम बोलते हैं सल्फेट, इसको हम बोलते हैं नाइट्रेट, इसको हम बोलते हैं क्लोराइड, इसको हम बोलते हैं कार्बोनेट. एक और एसिड है फॉस्फोरिक एसिड, H3PO4. Just let us see phosphoric acid. Okay, phosphoric acid is H3PO4. If you make an aqueous of it, then what do you get? 3H plus plus PO4 3 minus. Why 3 minus? 3H plus. Each H plus is 1 plus. 3 plus तो 3 minus होना पड़ेगा ना, then only it is balanced. This is known as phosphate. Okay, can you tell me the formula of barium phosphate? Barium is 3 plus. आराम से शादी कर लेगा. BaPO4, barium phosphate. Because Ba is 3 plus, phosphate is 3 minus. Chuck. Easy formation. That does not, ऐसे fertilizers आप पढ़ते होगे बायोलॉजी में, जैसे फर्टिलाइजर एक सॉल्ट लेते हैं, एल्यूमिनियम फॉस्फेट. वी नीड टू मेक एल्यूमिनियम फॉस्फेट. इज इट पॉसिबल? यस पॉसिबल. AlPO4. लेकिन अगर आप सोडियम फॉस्फेट बनाएंगे, सोडियम तो 1 प्लस लेके आता है, फॉस्फेट 3 माइनस, तो मतलब सोडियम 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 सोडियम, 3 सोडियम्स विल कम एंड 1 फॉस्फेट विल कम. Na3PO4. Our problem is that you are very attentively listening. I don't deny that. And you are questioning me and asking. But this zeal and tempo remains only on Monday nights and evening, children. And the rest 1 week, we're all pouring down the lane. And then you try thinking with open eyes. And then somebody will sleepy, somebody non-sleepy, somebody struggling. But यहाँ से जब घर जा, bye sir, sir bye, bye bye bye. अब फिर से दिल से हाथ रखो, like a football team, national anthem being played. पिछले क्लास से इस क्लास के बीच में क्या हमने इस चैप्टर का ट्यूशन कंटेंट का क्लास नोट्स या फिर वीडियो देखा? क्या हमारे अंदर सवाल पैदा हुए? ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता ये सब आप देखोगे और सवाल पैदा नहीं होगा, या नहीं भी हो सकता. क्या हमने ये पोर्शन लखमीर सिंह या एनसीईआरटी से पढ़ा? क्या हमने इसी वीडियो को चला के इसके नोट्स लिखने की कोशिश की? व्हाई डिड सर से दैट? नहीं, इसको रेड फ्लैग डाल के रखो. नेक्स्ट क्लास आई शुड आस्क. वेरी नाइस थिंग्स. मिस्टर तेगबीर, ऑन संडे आई गेट अ मेल व्हिच आई वाज एक्सपेक्टिंग. सॉरी टू डिस्टर्ब यू ऑन संडे सर, आई हैव फ्यू डाउट्स, कैन यू हेल्प मी? द फर्स्ट थिंग आई टोल्ड माय वाइफ, कल इसका टेस्ट है, नहीं तो क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है. Now my next projection. Ritisha, when is your test of mathematics?
There was only one side.
No, when is your test? Next test?
My next test.
So I'm very happy Ritisha has also brought up a doubt. And today Ritisha has spoken. Quota complete of the whole month. बहुत कुछ बात किया, donate किया. I'm very happy. आप डाउट्स नहीं पूछते हो. ये सब चीजें बेटा पहली बार समझ रहे हो. प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना, जो भी मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा हूं आपको आपकी बुक में शायद नहीं मिलेगा. So unless you go back home, unless you study, unless you develop, because you might be thinking, hey, सर का तो एक हैबिट है ना, children you need to learn more. तो फिर the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in war. The more you enjoy in peace, the more you bleed in war. 10th में जाके जब आप रिएक्शन लिखोगे ना, आप सिर्फ ये करोगे, सर बैरियम क्लोराइड सर BaCl2 होता है, BaCl होता है, क्योंकि आपको बेसिक क्लियर नहीं है. हमें तो ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं होता है. मैंने कोशिश किया है, नहीं तो आप प्रॉब्लम में आ जाएगा. मैग्नीशियम सल्फेट जाते जाते, कैन एनीबडी कंबाइन एल्यूमिनियम एंड सल्फेट? एल्यूमिनियम सल्फेट कंपाउंड का फॉर्मूला मुझे कोई बताए. मैंने ये सब लिख के दिया, देना नहीं चाहिए था, वो आपको निकालना चाहिए था. It has become 4-9. Now 46 required. Now Jadeja and Mia Bhai are betting. Jadeja is still there. He will win it. Don't worry. My heart says, Lords, we have already always done good. Otherwise, they will badly tease Shubman Gill. They will sledge him like anything today in that stadium. बहुत चिढ़ाएगा. All the Brits. You lost that. ऐसे करके बहुत बुरा होगा. बस में चढ़ने तक चिढ़ाएगा इनको. इसीलिए ज्यादा इमोशंस नहीं दिखाने का. Do not laugh till the last card has been played. चलो क्या हुआ इसका? शादी हुआ कि नहीं? ना मैरिज रजिस्ट्रार का ऑफिस बंद है, 3 और 2 में कैसे बैलेंस करेंगे? आप लोग तो फिर सीखे ही नहीं हो, तो सिंपल है, इसका 2 इस साइड आएगा, इसका 3 इस साइड जाएगा, Al2 SO4 3 अब जरा चेक करके देखो, एक एल्यूमिनियम पे 3 प्लस, 2 एल्यूमिनियम पे कितना प्लस हुआ? बोलो ना जोर से, गलत होगा, 6 प्लस हुआ। एक सल्फर पे 2 माइनस, 3 सल्फर पे 6 माइनस, न्यूट्रल हो गया ना, फिर क्या टेंशन है? Al2SO4 whole 3. Do you understand the gap? Interesting. So the Rangarang Karikram will end here. This chapter ends from my side. I have nothing more to teach. I will again give you the notes, and I will not go with the what you call fourth chapter now, because there's no point in going with the fourth chapter. Start a bit of revision of mathematics, and we will start paper solving. In our next class, when you are coming for what you call my class, next class, you will study and come. I cannot afford that you will do bad in your term 1 exam, and your 40 marks paper to abhi bhi hua hi nahi hai na. So please study chapter 1 and come. You will be doing a timed paper on your next class. Here, students who are online, I have nothing with them. Students who are offline, get your computational device also. Next chemistry class, we are not doing chapter 4 now at all. Now we will be preparing you for your Dasara nunchi subhakankshilu. So we'll prepare you for your half yearly exam, which is important. Otherwise, अभी जो knowledge है उसमें आपकी नैया डूब जाएगी, है ना? टेस्ट भी होंगे, अभी अब से टेस्ट शुरू होगा, अब से क्लास में टाइम्ड पेपर करेंगे, पहले टाइम्ड कम करेंगे. I'll bring customized paper, and the paper will be 1 hour. You finish here and go. Sir, if I don't finish the paper within the class, nothing goes from my side. I have received this month's fee. Very harsh. Have I received the fee? Yes. If you finish the paper, you are more prone for success. If you don't finish the paper, welcome to the club, Carom Club. Fair deal? पेरेंट्स तो बोलेंगे टेस्ट लेने में, तो टेस्ट नहीं ले रहा हूं, आगे से टेस्ट लूंगा, ठीक है? मैथ्स भी मुझे नहीं लगता है हम किसी भी स्कूल से पीछे हैं, अभी सभी स्कूलों से हम आगे हैं. और फिजिक्स में ग्रेविटेशन खत्म होते ही ब्रेक्स लग जाएगी, और फिजिक्स का भी यही कहानी शुरू हो जाएगा. नाउ यू विल बी गोइंग थ्रू लॉट ऑफ टेस्ट एंड लॉट ऑफ पेपर, एंड टेस्ट डेट आई विल नॉट अनाउंस, माइंड यू, दैट आल्सो इज देयर. So next class of chemistry, you are coming prepared with chapter 1, and you will do a chapter 1's paper in my class. Understood? Whoever does not bring, and I don't want test copy and all, you can do a copy, no textbooks, and you can have your textbook, you can bring your laptop. वो सब नहीं लाया ना तो चले जाना. मैं अभी उम्र हो गया, मेरा दिमाग गर्म मत करना, मतलब करना या करिएगा. इंटरनेट I can give you free. ठीक है? And after gravitation, same will be done for physics also. And mathematics, lines and angles, I think after that I'll stop. या फिर maximum triangles तक पढ़ा देंगे, उससे ज़्यादा किसी स्कूल में नहीं पढ़ाएगा. Hurdle. And if you want to do good in your term 1, please follow this same protocol for social and your second language also, which you feel you are very good at, but you're not.